What's a moment in gaming that changed how you see real life?
There are many Silent Hill 2 moments. Spoilers ahead. Realizing you are fighting James' trauma-related monsters and progressing through locations that are linked with his subconscious. The moment that James has the choice to live with the consequences of his actions, or living with no remorse and a more cheap and seemingly easy life ignoring what he did, which turns out to be a vicious cycle. When Angela surrenders and gives up because she killed her family members for absolute defense and can't forgive herself and move on, surrounded by flames, which is how she sees the town, and James doesn't even realize, just saying, "It's hot as hell in here." Angela thinks that James now sees what she sees, and with a very soft, sad voice says, "You see it too? For me, it's always like this. We just can't understand what other people are going through." On the leave ending, when he is speaking to Mary, after telling her, and she knows, that her disease made James feel so sad, angry, and frustrated, and her being so mean and unforgiving to James. He just wants to stop the suffering for the both of us, and takes a horrible choice that seemed more reasonable to him at that time. It was that bad. And when he asks for forgiveness, he knows he did it because of her, but also because of him. He wanted a way to escape out of that prison. It breaks me when he finally sinceres and says, "I hated you. I wanted my life back." She, who always loved him and knew him, responded, "If that's true, why do you look so sad?" She knows that James is not a bad person. They were both in a unique situation, and even then they still loved each other. They just stopped working as a romantic couple. We sometimes hurt people we love or who loves us, even though maybe not to this extreme example. And when we realize it, we become hurt too. Silent Hill 2 is just a game that will teach you about many things. Dealing with trauma. Recognize your dark wishes, but don't let them overcome you. Sickness will fuck many aspects in your life, etc. And the cherry on top is that the game actually adapts to make sense according to every player playstyle, like being more caring to Mary, respect Mary's memories, punish James for what he did, keeping him low on health, and contemplate suicide, etc. I've replayed it a few times in my life, and for me it changed how I see death as I got older. It's a lesson of love fiercely, and make sure you leave behind a good life. When people think of you, strive to have them think of your kindness and resilience. It's the only video game that I still think of, and honestly, it's such a beautiful story that is incredibly touching for a cutesy, happy game.